It's quite common for guys in their 40s and 50s to think they're too old to make significant gains and build impressive physiques, a limiting belief that can stop you dead in your tracks if you let it. It's like the saying goes, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Now, this video isn't meant to be some philosophical discussion about the power of the mind. Instead, we're here to show you that no matter how old you are, it's never too late to set and accomplish new fitness goals. Today, we're going over 5 simple tips to build more muscle in your 40s, 50s, and even 60s without taking any supplements or pinning yourself with sharp needles every week. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Tip number 1, program your training. Let's face it, performing random exercises in the gym works when you're a beginner, but once you get past that newbie phase, it becomes much harder to continue making gains no matter how young or old you are. And this is why a lot of men get stuck spinning their wheels year after year, making no significant changes to their body despite putting in the effort. So, what can you do to break the cycle? If you're serious about optimizing your results, you need to stop winging your workouts and start following a properly periodized program. And we're not talking about a random challenge you saw online or one of those get ripped quick workouts. We're talking about an evidence-based resistance training program that focuses on progressive overload, prescribes adequate volume, and combines the right intensity and frequency for continuous progression while avoiding injury. Something that teaches you when to push the gas and when to hit the brakes. Sometimes getting better results isn't about going harder, it's about training smarter and more strategically. A few guidelines you can look for in a properly periodized training program are as follows. Number 1, it consists of 70 to 80% compound movements and 20 to 30% isolation exercises. Number 2, it hits each muscle group at least twice per week. Number 3, prescribes a minimum of 10 sets per week per body part. Number 4, bases your main lifts on percentages of your 1 rep max or utilizes the RPE scale. And number 5, it includes a planned deload. If your program includes these guidelines, it's very likely you're on a solid program and should have no problem gaining strength and building muscle. But even that isn't always enough. You must also stick to the program and do so consistently, even when things feel stale or you feel like it's no longer working. The fact is, a suboptimal program done consistently will produce greater results than a more optimal program done inconsistently. That being said, we recommend you stick to a program for at least 12 to 16 weeks before you decide to try something new. Tip number 2. Eat more protein. If you've been following our videos for some time now, you're aware of how important protein is for building muscle, managing hunger, and recovering from your workouts. Even so, consuming enough protein can be easier said than done. For some, it's a matter of identifying high-quality protein sources, while others are simply too busy and don't have the systems in place to ensure they're meeting their protein needs. For example, if you eat out most of the time, then you're likely not getting adequate protein, as most restaurants and prepackaged meals tend to be lower in protein and higher in carbs and fats. In turn, this may limit your muscle growth potential and increase your appetite, making you more prone to overeating. On the other hand, ensuring you're getting enough high-quality protein throughout the day will have the opposite effect. So, how much protein should you aim for? The World Health Organization recommends 0.36 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which is very easy to get on a typical Western diet. For example, if you're a 150-pound man, you need less than 60 grams of protein for the entire day. However, these recommendations don't consider weight training, and they're not sufficient to support muscle growth. According to current evidence, Higher protein intakes are required to maximize muscle protein synthesis, and high protein diets have also been associated with positive health outcomes. For example, this 2016 study showed that consuming at least 0.6 to 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight is a more ideal target to optimize health. That said, sports nutrition research shows that we need even more protein to maximize muscle growth. For example, the best available evidence on protein intake recommends aiming for 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, as this should be sufficient to maximize muscle protein synthesis. If we go back to the previous example of a 150-pound man, he would need approximately 105 to 150 grams of protein per day for optimal muscle growth. One important detail to keep in mind is if you're currently dieting, you may benefit from an even higher protein intake. This is because while dieting, the body is more likely to break down muscle tissue to use as energy. To offset this, you can further increase your protein intake. The current research recommends aiming for 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight while in a calorie deficit, as this will help you preserve more lean mass while burning fat. The leaner you are or longer you've been dieting, the higher on the spectrum you should be. Whereas if you have more body fat or have not been dieting for too long, then the lower end would suffice. If you really want to keep it simple, aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight regardless of your goal. Lastly, if you're worried about whether a high protein diet is safe, don't be. According to the International Society of Sports Nutrition, there are no safety concerns with high protein diets in healthy individuals. To quote them directly, multiple review articles indicate that no controlled scientific evidence exists indicating that increased intakes of protein pose any health risk in healthy, exercising individuals. There are other aspects of protein we could talk about, such as the leucine content in protein sources and how it plays a role in muscle protein synthesis, and the difference between plant and animal protein sources. However, this video isn't meant to be a deep dive on protein. If you'd like a more in-depth look at protein sources, watch our video, The 5 Best Protein Foods for Muscle Growth. Tip number 3. Optimize your hormones with fatty foods. If you're looking to optimize your health, you should be including healthy fats in your diet, as they play a key role in overall health and can impact your testosterone production. Low testosterone levels can lead to loss of sex drive, erectile dysfunction, diminished brain function, depression, lack of energy, fat gain, and loss of bone, muscle mass, and strength. Furthermore, as you age, your testosterone levels naturally start to decline. One way to offset this is by including a healthy amount of fats in your diet to optimize testosterone production, as research seems to favor higher fat diets versus lower fat diets for optimal testosterone levels. We recommend setting your fat intake at 20 to 35% of your total caloric intake to reap the health benefits. For example, if you're consuming 2,500 calories per day, 500 to 875 calories should come from healthy fats. Some healthy sources of fat include fatty fish, such as salmon, mackerel, and sardines, which are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and other important nutrients such as vitamin D and zinc. And if you don't have access to fish or simply don't like the taste, I recommend supplementing with fish oils to ensure you're reaping those benefits. Eggs are another great source of healthy fats, protein, and micronutrients, which could also potentially boost your testosterone. And contrary to popular belief, the healthy fats are found in the egg yolk, so make sure you're including those as well. Healthy fats can also be found in dark chocolate, nuts, seeds, avocado, and certain oils. Tip number 4. Hire a coach. Similar to a football coach devising a strategy for the team, the coach can see the game from the outside and can identify what needs to change for the team to win. However, you as a player are in the heat of the moment and have a different perspective than the coach. In other words, oftentimes we don't get the results we want because we make emotional and irrational decisions. For example, some people completely overhaul their diet out of fear of getting fat from one cheat meal, or they change their program every few weeks because they're unsure if they're progressing or not. Having a coach as the voice of reason can help you stay motivated in the long run and, most importantly, accountable to the process. If you know someone has your back, you'll be less likely to give up on your goals. On top of that, time is your most valuable asset. You may see a coach as an unnecessary investment, but think about it this way. Would you rather spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars over the years on different programs and supplements in the hopes that something works? Or would you rather invest in a coach that is up to date on the latest scientific evidence and can help you make sure you're on the right track to achieving your fitness goals? This can often be the difference between reaching your goals in 12 months or achieving them in just 12 weeks. So if you're a man in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or beyond who's tired of spinning their wheels, spending countless hours in the gym to no avail, then I'd love to work with you. Over the years, I've helped thousands of men just like you to get into the best shape of their life by burning fat, gaining muscle, and optimizing their hormones. Now, as you can imagine, I can only take a handful of clients, so I'm looking for serious individuals only. That said, I've linked a short information page below where you can get more details about how this all works and fill out the application form to see if we'd be a good fit to work together. So if that's you and you're ready to take action and finally achieve the results you know are possible, then click the link below, fill out the short application form, and let's get started. Tip number 5. Optimize your sleep. Sleep is essential for optimal health, burning fat, and building muscle. Everyone knows sleep is important. However, despite knowing this, not many people prioritize it. But just how important is it? One 2010 paper compared two groups. One group sleeping 8.5 hours each night, and the other sleeping just 5.5 hours. Although both groups lost the same amount of weight, the sleep-deprived group lost 55% less fat and 60% more muscle. This is especially important as you get older, considering that testosterone levels start to decline 1 to 2% per year somewhere around your 30s. In other words, if your training and nutrition are in order, but you're not optimizing your sleep, you'll never maximize your ability to build muscle or burn fat. And you might have even noticed that when you have a poor night's sleep, you're more inclined to eat junk food and your energy levels simply aren't the same. At the end of the day, you can't expect to make your best gains if you're chronically undersleeping and not recovering. So if you want to get jacked, you need to optimize your sleep. One of the best ways to do this is to stick to a regular sleep schedule. For example, going to bed at the same time so you wake up at similar times without an alarm clock. If you have a hard time sticking to a sleep schedule, set an alarm to remind you to stop watching TV or scrolling on social media and go to bed. Some other things you can do to improve sleep are as follows. Cut caffeine at least 6 hours before bed. Take a warm bath. Set your AC at 67 degrees and black out your room or wear a sleep mask. And while you may not get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every night, as long as you're taking the necessary steps to improve your sleep, you'll recover faster, build more muscle, and burn fat more efficiently. To recap, follow a well-structured resistance training program focusing on progressive overload. Aim to consume 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight daily. Include healthy fats in your diet from foods such as fatty fish, olive oil, eggs, and avocado. Take the steps necessary to improve your sleep quality. And if you really want to speed up the process and take things to the next level, hire the right coach. Did you find this video helpful? If so, click the like button below as it'll truly help out the channel. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for more videos and click the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Peace.